Hey guys, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us on this live demo session from our San Jose office.
How's it going? Today we'll be demoing the VideoCoin Publisher Studio. So you'll see creating a pipeline and streaming over the VideoCoin Network.
Yeah, so it's a quick demo, but do join us on our Telegram channel and ask us any questions that you may have. And also do not forget to sign up for VideoCoin Studio at studio.videocoin.network, and you can create an account for yourself and then follow along these steps. So at the high level, VideoCoin Network is decentralized video infrastructure. So if you have video streams that you want to stream, let's say you have an RTMP live stream that you want to convert to HLS, or you have an MP4 file that you want to convert to another format, bitrate, multiple bitrates, MPEG dash, so on and so forth. All of these video infrastructure operations happens on a network like VideoCoin Network. And VideoCoin Network in short is next generation video architecture. This demo is more suitable for people who know a little bit about video and a little bit about video infrastructure. So in this case, we're going to show you how the VideoCoin Studio works. I'm just going to sign out, start from scratch. So when you visit our Publisher Studio, you'll be able to create an account and log in. And once your account is approved, you can log in. And once you log in, you'll be presented with a screen like this one. One of the first things that you want to do is deposit some real video coins into your VideoCoin wallet. Because it takes about a few minutes for the VideoCoin from Ethereum mainnet to get confirmed and transferred into VideoCoin blockchain. I've already deposited some 30 video coins into this, and you can do a deposit yourself by going to make deposit. So when you go here, we do show you a friendly warning that we are still under development, so any ERC20 video coin you send to this address may get lost. We say that so that you know what you're getting into, so you're careful. And we also have additional protections where you cannot send more than 50 video coins into this account. And also you need a minimum of 20 video coins to be able to create streams. So these are all certain limitations that we have imposed on Studio, which with time will keep reducing and keep removing restrictions as we go from future release to Kilimanjaro to K2 and finally to Everest. If by mistake you send more than 50 video coins, don't worry about it. There is a automatic withdraw function that we're working on, but if you send more than 50 video coins, just send an email to support at, and then we'll refund the excess video coin or whatever you sent by mistake back to your account. So it's a simple support process, and there's also a simple account that where you can change your password and all of those normal things that you'd expect in an account. Now comes the important part of creating video pipelines. So when you look at video infrastructure, you can look at video infrastructure as a series of pipelines. So let's say you have a Nest camera at your home. The Nest camera that streams live over the internet goes through all of the Nest cameras go through the same pipeline. Those pipelines can be replicated hundreds of thousands of times for each one of those Nest cameras, but the pipeline is the same for all of those Nest cameras. So you can imagine like a Nest camera will be outputting RTMP. That RTMP hits an ingest node, and that ingest node converts that into an HLS stream, and an HLS stream is sent to your iPhone or iPad or whatever device that you're consuming the Nest camera video stream from. So pipelines in VideoCoin is a similar concept where you can create one pipeline. In this case, I'm going to just say I call this a September live demo. In this case, the pipeline can take an RTMP input and output HLS at an SD profile. And if you've spent any time with video, then you'd know the difference between, then you'd be familiar with SD, HD, 4K, 8K, and all these profiles, which are a way to describe video and how big and what quality and what frame rate these videos transfer at. So in this case, I'm just going to take RTMP in. RTMP is a real-time streaming protocol which which sends video in, and I'm going to set the pipeline output as SD profile 2 Mbps and 640p. So imagine this is a pipeline. Let's say you create this pipeline once. You can create any number of streams using this pipeline. So that's the metaphor we have here. So let's say we created a demo. So in this case, I created the pipeline, went into the pipeline details, and you can see that there is the pipeline has been visualized for you here, where you have an input RTMP, output HLS, and then the SD profile. So you've now set the pipeline. Now what you have to do is create a stream. So I'm just going to go and click on create a stream. So a new stream is created here, and the stream is offline because we just now created it. So what we're going to go do next is go start stream. So what start stream does is VideoCoin Studio starts talking to the VideoCoin blockchain. So here you can see there's a stream requested event, and immediately as soon as the stream was requested, a stream will be approved, and that transaction, so that stream is now living on the VideoCoin blockchain for you to start streaming on. So we can take a look at it on our block explorer. So we can, let's go check out the transaction hash. It's 0x834. We're going to look at that one. 0x834 is here. This is a successful transaction where this is an approved stream creation event. So what this is showing you is when the VideoCoin Studio makes protocol events, those protocol events are translated into blockchain specific calls on the VideoCoin blockchain that you can go back and check on the Explorer, like any other Explorer. And in this case, we created the stream, and these three protocol events happened. One was stream requested, one was stream approved, and another one is called refund allowed. So these protocol events right now look a little bit more developer friendly because we are presently designing and onboarding developers onto our platform. So these are all events that as a developer you can listen to and create hooks. So for example, you create a stream request. You want to know, let's say you're building a new security camera, and you had a new security camera that came online, and then you wanted to connect it, start streaming live from it. So the way you do it is you go request for a stream, you listen for a hook where a stream request has been approved, and as soon as the hook calls back and then you get the stream approval, it means you're ready to stream into that network, into that pipeline. So in this case, after we did stream request, the stream got approved, and now I have an RTMP ingest point ready available. So you can copy this RTMP ingest point, and so we're going to create a simple ffmpeg command over here. So I'm going to show you the ffmpeg command I'm creating. So bear with me. Okay, sort of this. So what this is doing is it's taking. So this is taking it's capturing the laptop that I'm using to do this presentation. It's going to capture that screen. So that's why you're saying the input is capture screen 0 here. It's going to deinterlace it, reduce the size of that video. This is right now a 4K video. Reduce the size of that video from 4K to 1080, 720p. Fix the frame rate at 30 frames per second, and send it to the RTMP ingest point that I just now copy pasted here. So this is the RTMP ingest point that I got from VideoCoin Studio. This is the same RTMP ingest point that I copied. So this ffmpeg command is constructed like this, but over the next week or so, we'll write a blog post where you can configure. This is just a developer demo, so it's a little bit technical. But you can take this RTMP ingest point and, for example, put it in a GoPro camera or put it in your OBS live stream. So we've written already blog posts about how to do these things, but we'll also be writing another blog post this week on how to do the same thing with a Wise camera. So these Wise cameras are really popular $20 cameras that can stream video over the internet. People have it all over their homes. They look at how to get, it's like a Nest camera but way cheaper. It's a $20 camera. We'll be writing a blog post on how to take these ingest points and then put it in a Wise camera, for example. So although this is a bit developer focused, once you create a pipeline, you can actually use Wise or Nest or GoPro or any of these cameras and stream live into these ingest points. So I'm going to take this command that I created and stream it with okay, so what I did now is I started stream capture and started streaming. As soon as I start streaming, you see the stream input here change from offline to receiving. So what this means now is that the VideoCoin network is getting the stream input data from this camera, from this stream. And now what we can do is we can go back to the Block Explorer and check out some of the most recent transactions. All of these transactions are getting created by the stream, which will now be visible in the studio as well. So now you see the stream is now ready. The input stream has been received and the output stream is ready and ready to stream. So we have a very convenient player for you here. So you can click play here and you can see in full screen. It's the same exact stream that I have been presenting. So it also creates a very convenient HLS link. So this HLS link has multiple advantages and use cases which we will write about in future blog posts. But you can take this HLS and just feed it into your player, for example. So here in this case, you're seeing just a few seconds ago when I was showing you the Block Explorer, you're seeing that live stream through the screencast demo here. You can either put it directly in a player or you can put it into a CDN. For example, most CDNs support HLS as an origin service. So if you feed an HLS into a CDN, many endpoints can consume HLS and you can send it to millions of users using a conventional CDN, for example. So that's how. And then one other important part is all the protocol transactions that are happening here. Again, like I said, our present version of VideoCoin Studio is built with developers in mind. So all of the protocol events get logged in the front end. So you can see every new protocol event that's coming in getting logged. So every time there's an input chunk added, every time there's a chunk proof submitted from the worker node, and when the chunk proof is submitted, the chunk is the video chunk, and the video is verified by a verifier, and then the verification happens, and the verification succeeds, and a proof is submitted. A proof is submitted, the verification succeeds, and the transaction for payment is submitted. So you see this account funded transaction here. This one is basically the worker node getting funded 0.08 VideoCoin for finishing up that chunk of video that was streaming. So this demo is a bit meta because I am showing you the demo that I'm streaming, the demo that I'm showing you. So it is it's kind of the meta demo. But if you check out our GoPro blogs or how to do this with OBS, for example. So imagine instead of seeing my desktop screen, if I was actually playing a game here, let's say I was playing Fortnite, you'd be seeing me stream Fortnite right now. So it's a very popular and common use case that we show. And next you can go and stop the stream. And when you stop the stream, so as you can see right now, I had 36 VideoCoins when I started the stream. So right now you see I have 26 VideoCoins. That's because when you start a stream, 10 VideoCoins is held in escrow. And you can see now in real time I got 10 VideoCoins back because it just stopped that stream. So what that did is it only subtracted the amount of VideoCoins that were actually used and then sent back the remaining VideoCoins back into my wallet for future stream creation. So this is a quick overview of our VideoCoin Studio. So like we said, please join us on VideoCoin.network, apply for an account, and then
Yeah, and then also we'd like to point everybody to go to our Medium account to actually check out some of those demos and use cases, which includes streaming with the GoPro Hero 7, the OBS, and Publisher Studio. If you haven't signed up for an account yet, go to studio.videocoin.network, sign up for your account, and then share with us your use case as well. We're approving accounts every day to stream on the VideoCoin Network.
Yep.
I just have a few questions.
Yep.
If you'd like to take them at this moment, wait a second. Okay, so the first question is, how's the Publisher Studio going to evolve from now to the Kilimanjaro release?
It's a great question. So like the main thing that we're focusing on right now is getting third-party miners to do the work on Studio. Right now, the workers that are running on this network is workers that we've provisioned and workers that are that we've set. So we want to get from now to Kilimanjaro. We're working primarily on getting third-party miners and workers to be able to join the network. We don't know if we can get the whole release done by Kilimanjaro, but like our present goal is to hit at least a demo by Kilimanjaro and definitely have some sort of a working version by K2. But as you can see, Studio right now is you can in fact build apps on top of it using just the web interface that we showed. But one other really important thing we're working on is a RESTful API. So right now, whatever I did a bunch of clicks on an interface, but imagine you're a developer, you're not going to be doing clicks like that. You're going to be making all of these stream creation, pipeline creation, profile creation, and all of those will be happening through a RESTful API. So our next thing is to do a RESTful API. And on top of it, and other than that, we have for the RESTful API also is not going to ship by Kilimanjaro, but we'll have a preview. It's planned to ship by K2. And by Kilimanjaro, we have some other small features like a fully functional withdraw and refund and all those functionality that we're working on right now, which should be ready by then.
Okay. One question, technical question from Daniel is there no issue currently with pushing non-60p streams? And the note is the output, the only output profile available on the dashboard specifies 60.
Okay, yeah. So that is that's a temporary thing for us. So we've only set 3 static profiles right now, but those profiles will be configurable. So we're actually presently working on that one, and I don't have a timeline for it, but you can set profile including frame rate, bit rate, output frame rate, and all. Basically, anything that you can configure in FFmpeg, you should be able to configure in the studio. So that's our goal. That's a long roadmap, but custom profiles are coming up soon.
Can any RTMP enabled device stream on the VideoCoin network?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's what we're trying to do. So this demo here I showed from this screen. That's why we showed the GoPro 7. We showed OBS. You know, if you have any RTMP device, you should try it on the network. And then if you can create a screencast, we'll be happy to share it with our community.
Okay, and let me see if there's any other questions. What's the highest resolution they could stream?
You know, we've tested it with our camera. The camera that we're using right now to do this podcast. This is a 4K camera. I don't know if there's a camera sitting right next to Jason over there. So we're using this camera to do this VR podcast. So we've tested this camera. It can do 4K. So right now we've tested up to 4K. That's the short answer.
Okay, and I'll just check to see if there's any other questions that came in. I guess one last question. Is there a limit to how many people could watch a single stream?
Not right now, but we'll be imposing those limits as we build out the CDN functionality, because CDN cost is the most expensive cost when it comes to video streaming. As of now, there's no limits, but we'll start proposing it.
Okay. And then I think that's all the questions from chat.
Cool. So yeah, see you guys on the next session. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for joining.
Thank you, Jason, for hosting it.
Have a great day, guys.